The first Pacific Engagement Visa ballot is opening on the 3rd of June 2024. The Australian government have just released the information on their website for people who are entering the ballot and applying for the Pacific Engagement Visa. So let's have a look at it together. My name is Joanna Hill. I'm a registered migration agent with Port Migration. Like and subscribe to our YouTube and use the links in the description for more information or to contact us for advice or assistance. So as you may know, the PEV or the Pacific Engagement Visa will allow 3,000 people to become Australian permanent residents each year. Let's have a look at the information on the Australian Government Department of Home Affairs website. So this visa will allow you to stay permanently in Australia. The cost is $325 for the main applicant to apply. There have been people saying it's free and people saying it's a lot more than this, but as I've said, since the legislation was introduced, this visa will be $325 for the main applicant. You must be a citizen of a participating country. You need to be aged between 18 and 46, and you need to be selected from the PEV ballot to apply for the visa. So that is the first thing that you need to do for the Pacific Engagement Visa is enter the ballot. Let's have a look about the visa. The Pacific Engagement Visa is a permanent residency visa. If the visa is granted, you can stay permanently in Australia. You can live, work and study anywhere in Australia. You can travel to and from Australia and you can access government benefits when you're eligible. There's links here on the website. And then if you're eligible, you can apply for Australian citizenship when you meet the requirements. So there's more information about this and the cost, $325 Australian dollars for the main applicant and then $80 for each family member who applies for the visa with you. So if you are the main applicant, you will be $325. Then say your spouse and your 3 children are included in your application, they will be $80 each. Now, you can apply from in or outside Australia for this visa, and you can be either in or outside Australia when the Department of Home Affairs decide on your application. So visa processing times, there will be a time guide tool, but I'm recording this in May 2024, so actually no one's applied yet because it's not open yet. So we don't actually know how long it will take. Let's have a look at eligibility. The first step for being eligible is to be selected from the Pacific Engagement Visa ballot. Now, there's more information available about the ballot in other videos. You need to be a citizen of a participating country. And you need to have been born or have a parent who is born either in that participating country or one of the listed countries, which includes additional countries to the participating countries. Now, to apply for the Pacific Engagement Visa, you can't be a citizen of New Zealand, which makes sense because New Zealand citizens can travel to Australia holding a special category subclass 444 visa. And you need to be between 18 to 45 inclusive, or if you're 45 when the ballot opens and you turn 46 during the application process, you can still meet the age requirement. So I know there'll be people glad to hear that. If you're in Australia, you must hold a substantive visa or a bridging A, B or C, and you must have an offer of employment in Australia. Now, there are links here to resources for helping find work in Australia. There's a support service which has been set. So it says the Australian government is providing a free service to connect you with employers in Australia to help you meet the job requirement for the visa and prepare for life in Australia. You can find more information through that link, the Pacific Engagement Visa Support Service. There's a lot of goodwill writing on this visa between the Australian government and the government of Pacific Island countries. And there's support here for people finding jobs to meet the job requirement if you're drawn from the ballot and you're applying for the Pacific Engagement Visa. Let's jump to the English language requirements. So there are a list here of you'll meet the English language proficiency if you or your spouse or de facto partner have met one of these requirements or have completed an English language test. So it's good to have more information about the English language requirements. And then there's an English language undertaking. If you or your spouse or de facto partner can't show that you meet the required level of English, you can complete a PEV English language undertaking. So this is great news. I know there's been people concerned about the English language requirement and what that will mean. So it's really great that we have the details available here. Now, if you've held a previous Australian visa, you and any family members that you're including need to have substantially complied with any conditions associated with that visa. And then there's requirements here for if you've had a visa cancelled or a previous application refused. The Pacific Engagement Visa is a permanent residency visa application, and everyone who applies for a permanent residency visa must have health examinations, and then there is a character requirement, so there'll be a requirement to provide police clearances and have paid back your debts to the Australian government if you have any. And that is the main information that's on that page. Now, there's information here about how to apply, gathering your documents, lodging your application. And then when you have this visa, you can travel to and from Australia as a permanent resident. Now, if we just jump back to the overview, there are links here for the information that you need, and it says here the amount of time that you'll have to apply after you are drawn from the ballot, but right now I can't see it. How to apply. So to apply for the visa, if you're drawn from the ballot, you will have 120 days from the date that you are selected, you're drawn from the ballot, to complete and submit your visa application online. So this is a pretty important date. If you are drawn from the ballot, you will have 120 days to submit your application for the visa. So I hope that's really useful. Keep in mind that this is general information only. Stay tuned for further updates and information as the ballot opens, and always seek advice from a registered migration agent or lawyer, particularly if you need specific advice that relates to your circumstances and your situation. All the best for your ballot application and good luck for the Pacific Engagement Visa.